Our second royal visitor, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie, Emperor of Ethiopia, Rastafari, Lion of Judah, and King of Kings. Trinidad and Tobago is honored to receive this distinguished personage. Descendant of the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon of Jerusalem, Haile Selassie, the 225th successor to the Ethiopian throne. This historic figure, regal, aristocratic, and humane, has ruled his country for 34 years, bringing the Ethiopian nation its first written constitution in 3,000 years. Our government and people welcomed him humbly but proudly.
The spirit of Africa, the spirit of
Religious ties and friendly links between our countries were renewed and forged with the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie and his distinguished party. Trinidad and Tobago salutes Ethiopia. First stop, Arima, and our African visitors, greeted by the mayor and the waiting crowds, had their first impression of Trinidad's indigenous cultural expression when the
we are calling the spirit of Africa. The spirit of Africa arise with your true love and rich diverse culture. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. Come along.
We are calling the spirit of Africa.
African people.
The spirit of Africa arise. With your true love and rich diverse culture.
African people.
Oh Africa, the land where roses grow.
African woman, the rose of Africa. The beauty, the pride of Africa. When true love and beauty come together. My Africa, the land where roses grow. Haye, haye.
The words of this world figure of peace assume great significance. In his native tongue, Amharic, His Imperial Majesty speaks to our Parliament and nation.
የተከበራችሁ የፓርላማ አባሎች በዚህ ታላቅ ስብሰባ ላይ ተገኝተን የኢትዮጵያን ሕዝብ መልካም ምኞት እንገልጽላችሁ እጅግ ደስ ይለናል።
Distinguished members of Parliament, it gives great pleasure to appear before this distinguished assembly and to bring you the fraternal salutations of the Ethiopian people. The peoples of Ethiopia and Trinidad and Tobago are today joined in a massive and a continuous effort to create for themselves a new and a better way of life. They face many of the same problems. The hopes and aspirations which they share derive from the same essential beliefs in the nature and the destiny of man. It is thus inevitable too that there should exist between these two great peoples the strong and lasting ties of friendship and understanding. We all know, as representatives of the people, that this is a particularly critical period in the councils of the 20th century. Sectional and divising factors often cause major obstacles to national development in their expanded sense, as narrow national and ideological interests may threaten even national unity and progress. No one today is so foolish to believe that any one nation constitutes a perfect monolith of faith and ideology, nor could anyone wish that there should be such utter unity of thought and aspiration. The systems of government which have sought to impose uniformity of belief have survived briefly and then expired, blinded and weakened by excessive reliance upon the supposed infallibility. The only system of government which can survive is one which is prepared to tolerate dissentient criticism and which accepts this as useful and in any case inevitable aspects of all social and political relations. The tolerance of dissentient criticism within the government proceeds from a singular social phrase, that the government exists to serve the people generally. The representatives of peoples and nations can only come together with open and objective minds and willing hearts to engage in dialogue without rigid dogmas and slogans and without violence. Working this way achieves no instant utopia. It may, however, enable us to achieve together what it is possible to achieve and to move forward steadily, if not always in great haste, with some degree of harmony and a mutual understanding. Domestically, we can build strong and happy and resourceful societies. Internationally, we can force the end of oppression of man by man and nation by nation. We can bring about peace, security, and a mutual trust which will open the way to the greater human achievement for which the needs of mankind now cry out. Distinguished members of Parliament, permit me to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude for the reception that was accorded me by the people of Trinidad and by the government and Tobago, which we are going to include in our visit. I hope will serve as an example for strengthening relations among nations that are dedicated to the same essential voice. Thank you.
After the Emperor's call for tolerance and unity, some of our outstanding leaders of the society and their wives were presented. The Prime Minister, Dr. Eric Williams.
We are calling the
Dr. Patrick
spirit
Solomon,
of
Deputy Prime
Africa.
Minister and Minister of External Affairs, and Mrs. Solomon.
Africa,
The Honorable Gerard Montano, Minister of Home Affairs.
and rich diverse cultures. Oh, Africa, the land where roses grow.
The Honorable Lionel Robinson, Minister of Agriculture.
The spirit of Africa.
The Honorable Robert Wallace, Minister of Labour, and Mrs. Wallace.
Africa, arise.
The Honorable Saeed Mohammed,
And
Minister
rich
of Wealth.
diverse cultures. Oh, Africa, the land where roses grow.
A momentous and historic occasion in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago.
The spirit of Africa, arise. With your true love and rich diverse culture.
At the Port of Spain Town Hall, the Emperor was hailed as friend as he met the councillors and leaders.
We are
The
called
people again gave him a stirring welcome.
Africa. The spirit of Africa.
Our royal visitor viewed an exhibition of our agricultural and industrial products.
And rich
The produce of
diverse
our land
culture.
proudly displayed to His Imperial Majesty and Royal Party.
Where roses grow. We are calling the spirit of Africa.
Old ties are affirmed as followers of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, 13 years old in Trinidad, witness an unforgettable moment in the history of their belief.
spirit of Africa, the spirit of Africa, arise with your true love and rich diverse culture. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. Come and sing it.
We are calling the spirit of Africa. The spirit of Africa, arise.
Sing along,
Your true love and rich diverse culture.
African people.
Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. Diverse cultures. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. We are calling the spirit of Africa. The spirit of Africa, arise with your true love and rich diverse cultures. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. We are calling the spirit of Africa, the spirit of Africa, arise with your true love and rich diverse cultures. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. We are calling the spirit of Africa, the spirit of Africa, arise with your true love and rich diverse cultures. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. We are calling the spirit of Africa, the spirit of Africa, arise with your true love and rich diverse cultures. Oh Africa, the land where roses grow. We are calling the spirit of Africa, the spirit of Africa, arise with your true